Good afternoon, NAMLE, and welcome. I'm Antonio Lopez, and I teach and write about media, education, and sustainability. I'm speaking to you from Rome, Italy. I'm sorry I can't be there in person, but hopefully this disembodied representation of me will suffice. The goal of this short presentation is to offer a framework for thinking about how to connect media education with sustainability. I have two goals. First, to explain why media education and the environment matter. Second, I will outline a framework for thinking about how to incorporate sustainability into your work. The key is to shift from seeing the issue of being disconnected to being one that is connected. I'm probably preaching to the converted, but it's important to remember what is at stake. The climate crisis is so serious that it needs to be addressed by all sectors in society, including media education. According to my own experience and research, with only a few exceptions, environmental issues have not been addressed by media educators, and one of the reasons has to do with perceived boundaries between our various disciplines. Originally, when biologist Ernest Haeckel coined the term ecology in 1866, it was based on the Greek root oikos, which means household. It is also the root of economics. Ecology can be thought of as household management, because where and how we dwell is connected to the environment. But with the rise of mechanism in the 19th century, which views the universe as a programmable machine, environment got separated from economy to be viewed as something disconnected from humans that can be manipulated without consequence. Incidentally, this is the source of the idea in education that students are programmable machines. The net result of mechanistic thinking is the experience of separation, division, and isolation from the environment. The division of ecology from other disciplines has resulted in NIMBYism, not in my backyard. This means that even though people care about an issue, they believe it is not necessarily their problem to deal with. It also helps explain why people may not see the relationship between media and the environment. But the environment and media are closely linked. First of all, it is important to understand that media are part of a materials economy. As these statistics demonstrate, the use of personal media gadgets is on the rise. These gadgets don't just materialize out of the ethers. For example, in year 2000, the pending release of the Sony PlayStation 2 drove up the price of tantalum, a rare earth metal used in media gadgets. This caused a mining boom in the Congo, which led directly to a decline in an endangered gorilla population, resulting in a drop from 17,000 to 3,000 gorillas. Mining precious metals also exacerbates wars, which of course are disastrous to humans and their environments. Currently, our servers produce the same CO2 as the aviation industry. If current trends continue, this figure will double in 10 years. The reason is that the internet cloud is primarily powered by coal. Built-in and perceived obsolescence also creates an obscene amount of e-waste. Then there is media's mind print, which affects our beliefs and perceptions of the environment. Then there is media's mind print, which affects our beliefs and perceptions of the environment. Think of the media as a kind of environmental education that teaches how to act upon the environment. Even if they're not consciously doing so, media communicate how to value living systems. Public policy is impacted by how environmental issues are framed in the media, and consumerism promoted by marketing drives environmental destruction. Media also impact our sense of place, time, and space, which is the essence of environmental awareness. Media also have a positive effect. They can help coordinate social action and promote environmental values. Solutions exist. A place to start is to change our metaphors for media. In the past, media have been viewed as a kind of machine that programs people. But nowadays, people are increasingly using the media ecosystem metaphor to describe how media are about connections, relationships, and systems. But we still need to link the environment with media because people often talk about media ecosystems outside the context of sustainability. One way to coordinate the media ecosystem metaphor with the environment is to link media with green cultural citizenship, which is embodying sustainable behaviors and cultural practices that shape and promote ecological values within the interconnected realms of society, economy, and environment. The approach that I have developed through my research and work is a framework I call eco-media literacy, which is defined as understanding how everyday media practice impacts our ability to live sustainably within Earth's ecological parameters for the present and the future. You can check out the handout for more specifics regarding skills and performance indicators. The primary heuristic for this approach is the eco-media wheel, which looks at a boundary object from 4 different perspectives: worldview, ecology, economy, and culture. A boundary object is something that has agreed upon properties, but its meaning and use change according to environmental context. For example, we can all agree that an iPhone can make calls and access the internet, but for each person it will have a different purpose. The boundary object can also be a media text, such as an ad or a film. Using the ecomedia wheel, we can look at the boundary object from the perspective of worldview, ecology, economy, and culture. Each approach yields different understandings. For example, from the worldview perspective, we see how the device affects our sense of place, space, and time. From the ecology perspective, we see how the device impacts living systems. From the economy perspective, we see how the gadget interacts with the economic systems. From the cultural perspective, we can learn how the gadget contributes to sustainable and unsustainable cultural practices. I leave you with a final question, which can guide curriculum design. What constitutes a healthy media ecosystem? It is my personal belief that the concepts outlined here can help us move from approaching media ecology and sustainability from the perspective of separation, division, and isolation to an emerging view based on connections, relationships, and systems. Thank you for your time. For links to background information and source materials, please visit ecomedialit.com or write me at info@ecomedialit.com. Ciao, and enjoy the rest of your workshop.